This is the Little Moments Count radio podcast, created in partnership with community radio stations throughout Minnesota. Each episode, you'll hear interviews with early childhood experts on how to support the important brain development that takes place in the first 1,000 days of life, just through little moments every day. Learn more at littlemomentscount.org/podcast.
Good afternoon, Walter Q. Fairbanks Jr. Got you on the afternoon drive, no question about it. And letting you know, ladies and gentlemen, is that time to let you know that this episode this afternoon is being brought to you in part by Little Moments Count. That's right, in KMOJ Radio. This is a statewide collaborative focusing on helping parents and caregivers learn about the importance of brain development in the first 3 years of one's life. Nearly 80% of brain growth happens in the first 1,000 days of a small moment of that interaction when we're talking about playing, talking, reading, singing, and the list goes on with that mobile side of that body working and letting you know that it's that pathway of building that child's brain when it comes to that early stage of life. And if you like a copy of this episode itself, you can lock in at littlemomentscount.org. And so like I said, and I'll let you know right now, I'd like to say good afternoon to Dr. Artika Tyner. I'd like to say good afternoon to you, and how are you doing?
I am doing well. Thank you. Honored to be here.
No doubt, no doubt. For the listening audience, give us just a little bit about yourself and definitely lock into that planning people, growing justice, and let them know what it's all about. But just give us just a little bit about yourself.
Yes, for a little bit about me, most people know me as a civil rights attorney, a native of the Rondo community here in St. Paul, but also related to my work as a lifelong educator. And when I think about planting people growing justice, truly our mission is in our name, inspiring young people to learn, grow, and lead.
Now, when it comes to the books itself, because you're an author as well, when it comes to many children's books, when it comes to planning people's growing justice and letting us know about that literacy and that reading and all those different kind of things and dealing specifically with children books, what got you started on that path? What was that thing that said, this is the area and the space I need to be in?
Well, nearly 40 books later, I knew that for me, I love writing and also love reading since I was a little girl. I believe in the words of Malcolm X that education is the passport to the future, and for those who prepare for it today, that's how we get those pathways to success created. And so for me, just having that opportunity of going to the library, of having reading opportunities was the highlight, especially this time of the year for the summer, following the bookmobile and visiting our local libraries. I wanted to give that gift, that joy of reading to all young people, to find that book that they could connect with, but more importantly, to build out those diverse books where they could see a reflection of themselves and see the heroes and sheroes that could inspire them on their life's journey.
Now, when it comes to leaders and readers, give us an insight of that side as well, because, there's some success stories that I know that exist when it comes to that. What is its purpose? What is it that you like to see to take place?
Leaders or readers is about inspiring young people, to inspire them to not only find and discover that joy in reading, but also to be able to open up those mirrors and windows. And when I'm talking about mirrors, that idea of seeing a positive representation of yourself on the pages of books. Now, I didn't have that growing up. I had plenty of books that I loved to read, but name one book where I said, oh, that little girl looks like me, a powerful Black girl, creating change in her community. I didn't have that. That's why I was on a mission with all the books that I've written to center Black history and culture. So we are doing that through our Leaders or Readers program, because every time that we come together, there is a Black author presenting, and I'll say it one more time, a Black author presenting their book and inspiring the next generation that they can not only read and lead, but maybe they'll be the ones to write the next books as well.
Now, when it comes to parents and parenting and caregivers, how important is the role of those parents to be? And then also when we're talking about caregivers, when it comes to being the educational side of that educator and helping to teach and learn about the reading itself?
It's essential Now, I was blessed. Of course, my mother is an educator, so everything was an educational moment. When she was making that macaroni and cheese, she's like, count the noodles. When she was making those black-eyed peas, I must be hungry for lunch, she had us counting and multiplying those beans. So naturally, she was always thinking about those opportunities for learning and engagement and stimulation of the mind, to be able to stimulate, as you talked about, all this brain development happening early. It happens through those hands-on learning experiences every day. I'm not negating what happens in the schoolhouse, but I am letting us all know that in our house, there can be learning as well, whether it's in the backyard, starting a garden this summer, or doing artwork, whatever it is, that learning can happen any and everywhere. So we launched the first educator program in partnership with the Minnesota Spokesman Recorder to be able to provide those tips and tools for parents that they can start 365. 24/7, helping to bring forth some meaningful opportunities around learning and inspiration.
Now, when it comes to reading itself, and when it comes to statistics and stats, when it comes to the literacy side of it, and when it comes to the United States, where are we at when it comes to, teaching our kids and really standing on top of it? And what are some of the things that you think we need to be doing in order to make sure that they understand the purpose as their little ones are growing up?
There are roughly a little over 7 million Black students in our public school system. At least 5 million of them are struggling with reading. So that means the vast majority are struggling with reading proficiency, and especially at that pivotal point of third grade. And why did I say third grade is a pivotal point? Because from K to 3 or pre-K with that early childhood learning, you are learning how to read. But then when you get into the fourth grade and beyond, you're reading to learn. So if you're missing that foundation, you're missing then the ability to navigate the curriculum on a day-to-day basis. And from my experience in working in the schools, far too many African-American children are struggling with reading, but we can change this. We have new tools, we have new information, and more importantly, we all can come together because we know that we're a village. So we should be walking in unity and purpose to support the children who are struggling to read.
Now, when we're talking about everything that's taking place as we speak, and we're talking about getting in contact with you, how can someone get in contact or find more information about you? Is there a website, a phone number, or something in that area?
Of course, we welcome you to follow us. We're on all social media channels. We are on TikTok, Facebook, we're on X, LinkedIn, wherever you find social media content, you can find us there. You can look me up directly, Dr. Artika Tyner, or you can look up Planting People, Growing Justice. You can also, as I said, you can find us in the Spokesman Recorder. You can find us in the Hamlin Monitor because we also have 2 news columns. So I encourage you just to find us wherever you can because the information is readily available, and it gets better. Every first Saturday, we meet for our Leaders or Readers program, that diverse author coming in, providing a book giveaway, free lunch, learning activities for the entire family. That's every first Saturday at the Rondo Library.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it first, and you heard it right now and right here at KMOJ Radio. Dr. Artika Tyner, I'd like to say thank you very much for taking time out your schedule and blessing the listening audience with your presence and your voice.
Thank you. So I'll leave with the message of happy reading.
No doubt, no doubt. It's 89.9 KMOJ, and letting you know that if you like a copy of Little Moments Count, you can lock in at .org/podcast, or you could just go to the website at littlemomentscount.org. It's FM 89.9 KMOJ, no doubt about it. It's the People's Station.
Thanks for listening to the Little Moments Count radio podcast in partnership with community radio stations throughout Minnesota. You can find the Little Moments Count radio podcast wherever you get your podcasts and at littlemomentscount.org/podcast.